Bonjour from my apartment at Paris. Before, I thought that growing older was really something negative and looming, and today we're gonna talk about how living here in Paris has changed my opinion on time, elegance, and growing older. Donc, allons-y! La ville de Paris, the city of Paris, but c'est aussi les femmes et les gens à Paris, the people and the women in Paris that really made me kind of switch my perspective on how I see things. I also think it's related to comment est-ce qu'on vit à Paris. Pour Paris, for Paris, it's not just a city, it's not just a way you think, but it's also a way of life, la manière de vivre. So here at Paris, time feels like it's moving slower, not as in it feels slow, but as in, il faut vraiment profiter du moment. We really need to make the most of the moment. My first point, mon premier sujet, c'est le temps. It's time. Paris est très connu pour son rythme. It's very famous for its rhythm. Even though it's a capital city with so much happening, so much going on, if you actually lose yourself in the city, you're gonna notice that it's actually a slow rhythm. Et moi, avant, je vivais à Shanghai. I used to live in Shanghai où tout était très rapide. Everything was fast-paced, skyscrapers, everything. Et du coup, apprendre ça, learning this was really a game changer. When I first moved here, quand je venais d'emménager, it was very surprising and shocking. It really surprised me, the fact that really it's a slow rhythm and that people take their time. People actually take their time to be, not just do. I thought it was doing about the maximum things we can do with the time we have, but in Paris, it really taught me to just be. And by being, I mean la vie à la française, so French way of living. So you can see this dans des petits exemples and small examples like people who spend hours sur une terrasse de café on a café terrace, the 2-hour lunch breaks, nos pauses déjeuner sont 2 heures, and also weekends are sacred moments to enjoy and to rest. For me in the past, ce n'était pas du tout le cas, it wasn't the case for me at all, and I wonder if it's the same for you. La vie à la française is definitely savored, not rushed. Donc on veut savourer la vie plutôt que de la précipiter, rather than to rush it. Some of you may know I also have a much older friend called Claudine qui a 91 ans, that's 91. A topic that comes back in our conversations is she really tells me to appreciate things and moments. She tells me that life is not just a race to do the maximum amount of things you can do, mais c'est aussi fait pour apprécier le moment et l'instant. And she told me, even for example, quand tu vas dans une boulangerie, when I go into a bakery, il faut vraiment que je prenne mon temps pour manger ma viennoiserie. Like I need to take time to eat my pastry rather than just like buy it to go and then walk and eat it as I go. Even if it's just 5 minutes, it doesn't mean necessarily spending beaucoup de temps, like spending a lot of time. It just means being mindful of the short amount of time you're doing this. Rather than dans le passé, in the past, j'adorais faire plein de choses à la fois, so multitasking was really seen as a priority. Now it's really about doing things one by one, but doing them well and pouvoir en profiter and being able to enjoy them. Another point is something I noticed quand j'étais à Londres, when I was in London, was that en France, on n'aime pas trop les choses à emporter. We don't really take things to go. There's nothing wrong with taking things to go. I sometimes do, and then je me pose quelque part. I like sit down somewhere dans un petit parc, in a small park, or à côté de la Seine, by the Seine, but it's more about really being present and intentional. So vraiment la culture des cafés-terrasses, the culture of terrace cafes, it's more than just taking a coffee or taking a tea. It's really about presence, connection, and observation. And les Français, nous, on adore regarder les autres. We love to people watch, especially when we're on une belle terrasse. And I remember one time a Parisian said, ici on ne court pas après le temps, on prend notre temps, which means here we don't rush after time, run after time, literally. We take our time. And I know we hear this all the time. Everyone is saying, take your time, but I think it's good to have like concrete examples, des vrais exemples. And un exemple de ça, one example of this is quand je prends un café avec un ami, when I go for coffee or tea, parce que j'adore le thé, I love tea with a friend, rather than being on my phone at the same time I'm talking to them. Like I do my best to like put my phone away, unless we're really talking about something and they want to show me something on their phone. C'est vraiment mettre le portable à côté, putting the phone away and just being present with that person. This leads to la beauté de la lenteur. which means the beauty of taking your time. So definitely at first I thought slowing down time c'était quelque chose de négatif, was a very negative thing, and I was not used to it and I thought it was a waste of time. But I discovered that slowing down, genre de ralentir les choses, it's actually gagner du temps. It's actually gaining time. Like it's time to notice little things, it's time to be more present, more mentally aware. And also for those of you who always think about work, or for me as a creative, I'm looking for inspiration and I'm looking to meet people and connect, c'est important de ralentir un peu. It's really important to slow down, because I think when you reach the point when you burn out of all this, then you just don't want to do anything at all. Et ça, c'est la pire chose à faire. It's one of the worst things to do. The joy of living, which is essential to la vie parisienne, to life in Paris. There's a very famous French proverb, un proverbe français, that really aligns with this, and it's rien ne sert de courir, il faut partir à point, which means no need to run, you have to start on time. So life here is definitely less about rushing, but more about timing, patience, and really savoring time. And you'll tell me, how is this related to beauty or aging? Je pense que le mode de vie d'une personne, the way a person lives, will definitely have a long-term impact dans le futur. Let me know what your thoughts on this. Je pense que les choses qu'on fait aujourd'hui, the things we do today, vont vraiment impacter le futur, will really impact the future, like in 5 years, 10 years. So if you're always hustling and always running after something, je pense que c'est pas très sain. It's not very healthy, and ça va jouer sur le prochain point. It's gonna affect the next point, which is la beauté comme présence, pas perfection, which means beauty as a presence, not perfection. I feel like quand ça vient à la beauté, when it comes to beauty, les femmes à Paris, women in Paris, they're really in their own world. It's not about like flawless skin or like trying to cover it all up or like trying to cover all your wrinkles. C'est pas vraiment pour avoir la peau parfaite ou pour vraiment cacher les rides. It's really about intention, care and confidence. L'intention et la confiance. Qu'est-ce que je veux dire? What do I mean by this is that I see women, des femmes à Paris in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, qui portent du rouge à lèvres, qui portent une petite écharpe, that are wearing like red lipstick or like a simple scarf, and they're really like celebrating their age. You can feel that they're confident in their body and they're not overly dressed or trying to look younger in a certain style or certain makeup way. They really embrace their age. They don't try to hide their aging, they really try to celebrate it. It's funny because one of the first times I met up with Claudine pour le thé for tea, she told me she needed to run to the pharmacy because I had to leave, and so we went there and she was like, wait, let me just wear du rouge à lèvres, some lipstick. And I was like, why? You're just going to the pharmacy. And then she looked at me and she said, ça dépend pas toujours des autres, ça dépend de toi. She really didn't do it for others, she did it like for herself, pour elle-même. She said, à mon âge, je veux pas plaire à tout le monde, juste à moi-même, which means at my age, I don't want to please like everyone or look good for everyone, but I just want to like feel good myself. Et elle a raison, she's right. And that really stuck with me. Like beauty isn't about like looking good for others, because I think I grew up in Asia, même si je viens de Lyon, even if I come from Lyon, et j'ai l'impression qu'en Asie, especially in Asia, it's really about how you look towards others, like amplified hugely. And especially avec les réseaux sociaux, with social media, we really want to show like the best times all the time. I remember there was a time where I didn't want to film when I looked tired, and now I film when I really want to, you know, and I really want to talk about something. And I think à la fin de la journée, at the end of the day, it's about prendre soin de toi. It's about taking care of yourself. Pas pour plaire aux autres, not to please others, but to feel comfortable in your own skin. Et bien sûr, c'est pas très simple. It's not the simplest, but I think first being aware of it, like, am I doing this really for me? Or do I really want to dress this way? Do I really want to wear makeup this way? Or do I just act in a certain way for others or for myself? Et je pense que quand tu commences à être confortable, when you start to feel comfortable with these intentional decisions, ça va que t'apporter du bien. It will only do good for you. Vieillir comme une célébration. Aging like a celebration. Qu'est-ce que je veux dire? What do I mean? Aging, I think in many countries and in societies, dans la société en général, is really seen as quelque chose de négatif, as something negative. Mais en France, j'ai l'impression, aging is not seen as a decline, but an accumulation. And what do I mean by decline? Like being in Asia, I remember I would walk sometimes on the streets. I would see old people in their handicap chairs, like seated by the window just to watch the street, and they would never move. And then I remember asking, and they were telling me, because at this old age, we're just gonna leave them there, and I'm sure they're fine, like just looking at the streets. I was always thinking that, oh, that means when I reach that age, like I won't be able to have like great conversations, learn about things. Mais ça veut rien dire. It doesn't mean anything. En France, c'est vraiment ton histoire, your accumulation of your stories, your wisdom, your experiences, and ton caractère, and your character. I'm thinking of une pharmacienne, so a lady working in a pharmacy, and you know, she's always very bubbly and joyful, and she's always wearing like nice, beautiful, long earrings. And elle a plus de 70 ans, she's more than 70 years old. And that's when I realized that même à son âge, even at her age, we can be interested in so many things, we can be open to so many people, we can approach others, because as a pharmacienne or having this sort of job, she has contacts with many different sorts of people every single day, and she's always very talkative. Elle aime parler, et je pense que de parler et de se connecter avec d'autres personnes, speaking to others and connecting with others and learning about other cultures, just like you're doing now about like culture française, French culture, c'est très important. It's super important to keep an open mind and to be genuinely curious. Something un peu personnel, a bit personal, is I used to fear like turning 30, anxious about losing my youth, or like feeling like I kind of wasted my youth, even though je sais que je suis encore jeune. I know I'm still young, but I feel like when you hit 30, things start to change. Vivre à Paris, but living in Paris really has changed kind of my mindset for that. Firstly, because j'ai plein d'amis, I have many friends de tous les âges, of all ages, some in their early 20s, some in their late 20s, some in their early 30s, 40s, and 50s, and also Claudine, who's more than 90. And so I think being friends with those type of people has really made me see things differently. Je vois différemment. And it reminds me that time isn't a thief. Like it goes by, mais ce n'est pas un voleur. It doesn't steal from you. It doesn't steal your youth from you. It's a sculptor. C'est comme un sculpteur. Un peu comme Rodin. Rodin is one of my favorite sculptors of all time parce que c'est un génie. It's about shaping you with memories, des souvenirs, experiences, l'expérience, and beauty. Et la beauté. I feel like living in a city so rich in history where the old is loved and cared for, it makes aging feel like an honor, not a burden. Et bien sûr, and of course, voir plein de personnes sur les réseaux sociaux, seeing so many different types of people, social media, in my opinion, c'est une des meilleures parties. It's one of the best sides, is you can see people that teach you things, but also that inspire you. Et pour moi, le partage, sharing, it's for that. It's to be able to teach others, and it's to be able to inspire others and help bring confidence in other people. And I think, y a pas d'âge pour ça. There's no age for that. You can be inspired from someone and adapt it to your own life, de ta propre vie. And it can also make you even more curious. Je prends l'exemple de Paris, the example of Paris, like the fact that you are on une chaîne où ça parle en anglais et en français, a channel that speaks in French and in English, from me that's a local in Paris, and you see my perspective. Maybe it's going to impact your trip to Paris differently, or your trip to France in general, and perhaps it encourages you, it inspires you to do things. And ça, c'est le plus important. And I think same with age, when you see that others at an older age or similar age from you are doing great things, ça peut t'inspirer. It can inspire you to do things as well. And y a pas d'âge, there's no age. On peut toujours commencer. Like, just think about your future self. Toi dans le futur, est-ce que tu vas regretter cette décision? Are you gonna regret this decision? And if it's no, then go for it. Allez, allez-y. Don't wait for a certain age or a certain time to do it. Just follow that feeling. Suis ce sentiment. What Paris really taught me, and the people in Paris taught me, is that aging isn't a loss. C'est pas une chose qu'on perd quand on vieillit. It's not something that we lose when we get older. It's about gaining character and elegance. If you're feeling invisible, si t'as l'impression d'être invisible, stuck chasing youth, like stuck chasing your past, or rushing through life, si t'as l'impression d'être invisible, ou t'as l'impression de courir après le temps, ou t'as l'impression de voir ta vie passer, I hope this video reminds you that there's another way, and I hope that I can remind you that there is always another way of doing things. A way of slowing down, une manière de ralentir, being present, être présent, et célébrer chaque âge, and celebrating every age and chapter that you're in, et célébrer tous les âges et chaque chapitre où tu es. I also made this video, j'ai créé cette vidéo pour connaître plus sur toi. I'd love to know more about you. I'd love to hear your stories. Has your relationship with beauty or age changed? Est-ce que ta relation avec la beauté ou l'âge a changé? Or how has learning about other cultures or the French culture opened your eyes or let you see things a little different? Je suis curieuse. I'm super curious. Share with me in the comments. I would love to hear lots of stories from you, and also perhaps that your stories can inspire other people. Ça peut inspirer les autres. Partageons nos histoires. Let's share our stories, whether it's about Paris, whether it's about French culture, whether it's about how you viewed aging before and how you view it now, and what really matters in your life right now. Je pense que c'est important de parler de ce type de sujet. It's really important to talk about these sort of subjects, and it's also why I love doing this, is because I really like connecting with you. And I think talking about a topic that's been on my mind and I've been talking to quite a few people with for a long time now, c'est une bonne manière de commencer une conversation. It's a great way to start a conversation, and it's also a great way to see that on n'est pas seul. I don't think we're alone. I don't think I'm alone in this, you know, about wondering about these big questions about our relationship with time, notre relation avec le temps, and our relationship with aging, notre relation quand on vieillit. I really hope we're going to be able to chat and exchange more like this, like you're a friend that's becoming part of my life and we're spending a weekend talking about life topics. Mince, ça avait coupé et cut, mais look who's here. Mimi has to make an appearance dans chaque vidéo and every video. Et oui, il fait chaud, it's hot. So if you're watching this and you're feeling like the weight of time or just this pressure to be forever young, je pense que ce n'est vraiment pas le cas. It's really not the case. And on doit apprendre de Paris. We can be inspired from Paris and the women in Paris. That every season in life has its own light. Chaque saison, chaque chapitre, il y a toujours un bon côté. There's always a good side. And I think aging isn't something to resist. C'est pas quelque chose qu'on doit résister. It's really something that we need to savor, that we need to live, that we need to appreciate. So merci Paris for teaching me to slow down, to simply just be, you know, not to always be in a hurry, in a rat race. J'espère que vous avez trouvé ça intéressant. I really hope you found it interesting, and I can't wait to read your stories. J'ai hâte de lire vos histoires. Next week, la semaine prochaine, is a very exciting video, and if you don't want to miss it, please go ahead and subscribe. Je vous souhaite une belle journée. I wish you a lovely day, ou une belle soirée, or a lovely evening. I will see you very, very soon, la semaine prochaine, next week. So, merci beaucoup et à bientôt!